Welcome to Creative News. I am your creative partner, Amanda Pierce. On this special episode, you will hear from parents and caregivers of our clients. We are here at the letter writing party for Creative Enterprises as we are all coming together as a community and joining forces to try and move the needle for House Bill 1125. And we want to protect the ability for your loved one to work within the program underneath the 14C certificate.
Nicole's been at Creative probably since she aged out. She's 34 and she aged out of the school system at 21. And it just means so much for her to have some place to go every day. She calls it her job. Even before she earned her little paycheck, it was her job because I'm out of school. That's the next step. And she loves it. She loves the social part of it. She loves earning a little paycheck. She doesn't know the value of money. You know, she doesn't, to her, that's just a check. That's what everybody does is get a check. And the main thing is she's safe here. You know, she would trust anybody. If somebody's talked to her in a nice voice, then they're a nice person. She would believe whatever they say. So she just feels important. And if she couldn't come, she would still enjoy it because she's a people person, but she would feel she didn't have a job like everybody else. I want a job. And we actually went through Voc Rehab right when she aged out at 21. We tried it. And this was, you figure 13 years ago, so I don't know the exact verbiage, but her case was closed. She was sent to Goodwill and said she would have training, but it wound up being deemed that she was not employable. They didn't have the proper training. They just said, go straighten the toys. And she didn't know what that meant, and she felt overwhelmed, and then some weird behaviors come out when they feel overwhelmed and they don't feel control. She needs that supervision, and she needs that safety. She came home one day and said, I went to Burger King for lunch. But, they have people there that are on community
service
and stuff. And, it's like, I was like, so I tried it. I did my part. I tried it. And I can't say they deemed her unemployable because I don't know the exact words, but it didn't go any further. Her case was closed. So that's the part they need to realize. Everyone with a disability cannot be put in the same basket because there are so many different levels. And even if she had transportation, like she couldn't do public transportation, she would get on the wrong bus. Mm-hmm. We just need to realize that this is a whole different scenario, and it's very important to her and our family.
The supported work environment is what Creative Enterprises provides that is so unique to this equation. And just as you outlined that scenario, how scary it is for you, a mother, to learn that your daughter left the job site and kind of wandered off with essentially strangers. And that's something that cannot happen here because of the safety and the security and the tailored environment this Creative Enterprises provides. Talk about the sense of fulfillment or purpose that Nicole has through the participation.
Like I said, she knows you graduate from high school and you go to work. So she feels she's doing her part by going to work. It doesn't matter if it's, $10 a week or $20 a week. She did what everybody else does. She feels like she did what everybody else does. She went to work and she earned a paycheck.
A sense of normalcy.
Yes.
How would that change your family dynamic? Would you see any regression in Nicole?
Oh, definitely. Because even during the pandemic, Creative was awesome. They didn't skip a beat. They went right to having online classes. And, my husband and I were both working. he was working from home, thankfully. So I worked with the school system, so I had to go to work. She would have just sat in front of the TV and not left the house. Creative picked it up, had those classes. She'd get on that laptop and she'd do the classes they had. It kept her mind going. It kept her feeling like she was still had a routine and she was still doing her thing, not just sitting around. It was awesome.
If you have a message, a personal message to the legislators,
they need to come and see these adults and realize how happy they are doing what they are doing and how it's so meaningful to them. And, you know, they are our loved ones. We want them happy. And she just loves it. She just loves it.
Again, we were talking about Georgia House Bill 1125. And that House bill actually protects adults that are working with disabilities from earning sub-minimum wages. And that sounds all well and good. And that applique in the real world is something that we stand behind.
I agree.
However, we have a 14C certificate that allows us to operate a little bit differently. Our cry and our call to local legislation is for you to consider our individuals individually, because one size does not fit all. Karen is the caregiver of a loved one here. I am an emphatic volunteer. All of the staff, we welcome you here. We have an open house on December 5th, and you can look with your own eyes and see all of the wonderful things that happen within these walls. Thank you for joining us on this special episode of Creative News. If you were touched by these words, simply share this podcast with a loved one or friend. Anything you can do to help our message gain traction would be appreciated. CreativeEnterprises.org